is Max James, and as always, I am one half of the 2-Ton Nerds, and tonight is night 6 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project presented by the 2-Ton Nerds. Originally, I was supposed to be watching Night of the Living Dead, the original black and white version, but I got to thinking, I can't be watching movies that I've already seen before, just only those. So I kind of concocted what I'll be watching on Saturdays from now on, new horror movies. So I've kind of dubbed Saturdays as Max's never before seen horror movies. And tonight is the first of the Saturdays, and I've already watched it and loved it, and it's called VHS. It's basically about a bunch of guys who are hired to go rob a house of a VHS tape. It's a found footage movie, so it's all constantly handheld, and I didn't get sick. I'm very easily motion sickness, and I didn't get sick at all. It's broken up into a bunch of VHS tapes because they're looking for a certain one, and as each tape plays, it kind of cuts back to the main story arc, and just stuff is just going horribly wrong for the guys who are looking for the VHS tape, and as well in each videotape. So I'm going to kind of tell you the names of each of the horror anthology VHS tapes and kind of give you a little synopsis about it without spoiling it. I'm not going to spoil this movie at all, so I want to so bad just to tell you how awesome this movie is, but you need to find out for yourself. The first of the anthology tapes is called Amateur Night. It's about a bunch of guys who go out to have a good night, and one of them actually has the camera in his nose piece, so it's concealed, and so nobody knows that there's a camera. And they end up meeting a couple of girls to take back to the hotel room, and that's just where all hell breaks loose for them. Things just go downhill in a heartbeat for each of them, and that's all I'm going to say. The next in the anthology tapes is called Second Honeymoon. It's about a married couple who are on vacation, and they're on their way home, and they stop by this fortune teller machine, and they kind of get their fortune, and it kind of reveals something about what's going to happen in the movie. Which I think it says like you'll be revisited by a friend from the past, and that's pretty much what the fortune says. And it's like, oh, something's bad going to happen, and it does. And this one has the best twist of them all, I think. It's not my favorite, but this one has the best twist. The next one in line is called Tuesday the 17th. A bunch of friends who are going to go to the woods and just kind of play around of one of the friends' hometown, because something bad has happened out in the middle of the woods to her friends, and no one believed her that there's something in the middle of the woods, so she kind of lures them there. That's kind of like I have to tell you that, or it kind of seems weird. So that's pretty much all I can tell you. There is something bad in the woods, and it's pretty cool. This was actually a pretty good one. And then the next tape is called The Sick Thing That Happened to Emily When She Was Younger. This is my favorite one because this one actually provoked a more of a response from the other ones. This is the one that actually kind of got me the most scared, so that's why I kind of like this one over the other ones. Not because the other ones were bad, just because this one actually provoked a response out of me. And it's basically a couple who are video chatting. That's what it is. It's in video chat form. So there's like, she's in the big box, and the guy, he's in a little tiny box in the bottom right hand of the screen, and she thinks the apartment's haunted. That's pretty much what the synopsis of the little plot of this one is. That she thinks the apartment is haunted, so she kind of thinks a little boy has died because she's seen a little kid in the background on one of the videos. The guy seen a little kid in the background, so she kind of confronts the landlord off camera. You don't see that part. No one has died, so it kind of ups the creepy factor. So she kind of as the video chats go on, the creepiness of what's going on in the apartment kind of gets goes higher. And and there's also a part in the video chats where she kind of has like a little bump in her arm, like she broke it. That's pretty much what it looks like. She broke her arm, but she didn't. And so there's a scene in the. I'm gonna tell you, this scene is actually pretty cool and gruesome. She's kind of like poking at it with a scalpel, and like she's actually digging in there. It's like it doesn't hurt, and it's like there's something. And then she goes to the kitchen. She gets one of those grilling forks. You know, it's like on a long stick and just has two little tongs at the end, two little tridents at the end. And she's in there digging as well. And she's like, the dude's like, quit doing that. And it's like, she kind of looks kind of sad at the end because she actually had to quit. And she seemed like she was having fun doing it. So the final night comes, and she's like, you have to be my eyes, because she's gonna walk through the apartment closed with her eyes closed, and the dude's gonna be like navigating through the thing, and that's where I have to leave you. There's a nice reveal. This one is my favorite one because this one, like I said, this one actually provokes kind of like a little response out of me, and that's what I liked about horror movies, because if they can provide a emotional response, like either heart rate or just like I have to cover my eyes or look away. Those are my favorite kind of horror movies. It's when I like, oh dear God. And the last is called 10/31/98. It's Halloween Day. It's Halloween night, and it's the final. It's the tape that they're looking for, and it kind of just plays automatically after all the events of the main story arc played out, and it just kind of plays the main tape you're looking for. And it's basically just a bunch of guys who are dressed up in Halloween costumes, and they go find the Halloween party that they're supposed to go to, and they end up getting like turned around somewhere, and it's just, this one's a great story as well. And after watching it, I was like, why does this guy want this? And I kind of figured out why, and you'll kind of see why as well. And that's about it. All I can say about the movie. It's just that you have to see this movie. I definitely prefer this over the Blair Witch and Paranormal Activities. Just because of one thing, is because of my sentiment to the VHS format. I love the VHS format. It's because that's when I started making movies. It was on the VHS videotapes, just making stop motion animation, and just making little short films of just me goofing around. That's kind of why I like this movie, because it kind of reminds me of playing with my old VHS camera, which I still have to this day, and remember lugging that thing around. And also, there's this camera has a lot of jumps in it, and it kind of like little scratches, and you can it's just like, I remember these days of playing with the VHS tapes. So, but this is a very effective horror movie in my opinion. So, I highly recommend to watch this movie. I really do. So, I'll just I'm Max James, and I'm one half of the 2 Ton Nerds, and I'm gonna go geek out.